So as you come into standing, and starting always with an assessment, because we don't know what to change if we don't know what we're changing. So it's like charting your course. And as you stand, just in your stance, not trying to stand in a particular way, notice the imprint that your feet are making as if you were standing in wet sand. Is there a tendency to roll in or out? Do you stand with equal weight in your feet? Does the weight tend to be forward? Or are you leaning forward? Or is it in the heels? You can take a look at your shoes too and see how you're wearing your shoes. It's going to tell you a lot about your habits. Is you are wearing the inner heels, the outer heels, or just evenly wearing the heels? What is your step pattern? As you meander upward, notice your knees. Notice the knees. Are there sensations as you draw upward? And when you listen in for the sensations, be mindful not to get lost in the stories of what may be attached, because then we begin to layer in an emotional component to a sensation. Just the facts, ma'am. From the knees to the hips. What's going on around the hips today? And then the pelvis. Is there a sense of the pelvis dipping forward? Or is there a sense of it being more tucked under? The pelvis orients itself because of the rubber band. So most of us, a lot of us sitting down a lot right now, which tightens the hip flexors, which tends to pull the pelvis forward and jam the low back more. So some of the work where we start every time with the arts and flatness, just to get the pelvis reoriented. So the center of our body is neutral. Now meander upward to your, and I'm going to come down so you can all see me here, to the sternum. How is the sternum oriented? Does it sort of dip forward? Meaning there's more of a collapse in the upper chest. And when we do the arcs and curl, we're looking to get this seam elongated so everything drifts back. We can breathe better, we feel better. So with this information now, let's do a little calf release before we come down. So just walk to a wall and step back so you are at a slant, a little bit at a slant. So we're going to do a little bit of a calf release because Achilles tendons and calves often hang out together. We'll inhale and we'll lift the heels up. You'll feel the calves contracting. Only lift as high as is comfortable. And now I'm going to count to 12 as we release down. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All the way down, everything relaxes. Turn the feet out, turn the feet out. So our little Charlie Chaplin event, we're going to do the same thing. So the heels are together, heels are close together. Inhale, lift the heels, and you'll feel like you're using more of the inner calf. Again, I'll count us down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Everything pulls. Switch the orientation. So now the heels are kicking out to the sides. Big toes, maybe touching, maybe almost touching. Again, lifting up, lifting up. And then slowly lowering down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Bring the feet back to neutral, walk to the wall, and just walk around a few steps. Notice as you come to standing, if you stand any different on your feet. So this is a very simple one to help the tension on the calves. When the calves are well balanced, the Achilles tendons have a fair shot. And from here, now let's come on to our back body. So we'll come all the way down and do our supine assessment. I was just trying to prevent us from having to come down and up and down and up. And as you lay down, you may have a little bit more awareness in your calves right now. Maybe a blanket under your head, a pillow, just so the chin orients towards the chest, just so the chin orients towards the chest. Are you listening to one side? How much of your low back is towards the floor? Or are you rolling more towards the tailbone rather than being centered on the sacrum, the 5 fused vertebrae in the pelvis? Notice your shoulders. How flat do they lay on the mat? And is one flatter than the other? And with this information, last thing, is your nose straight up? Or is there a slight turn of the head to one side? Maybe we don't sit right in front of our computer screen. We're turned a little bit, or the mouse is over as we are working, not always under the best conditions. So these habits, they lock in. Let's slide the feet up. Place the hands on the belly. And then breathe in and out. So before you start to create a diaphragmatic breath, just notice your breath right now. Is it a belly breath or is it more of a chest breath? Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then more consciously, let's begin to engage the diaphragm so the belly poofs on the in-breath. And slowly exhale. Inhale, belly expands. And exhale, belly relaxes down towards the floor. Invite the out breath to stretch longer than the in breath. Fun fact, I may have said it before, I've heard from Chinese medicine that the slower you breathe, the longer you live. You live in breaths, not in days or years. Science now proves that the deeper our lung capacity, meaning are we engaging the diaphragm, the longer we live. These two correlates directly. So a shallow breath will kill you. And we're coming to know that because of all the conditions that often follows with that. Heart conditions, respiratory condition. And under that, we even bring high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, and high blood pressure. And we know with those, if no intervention, we don't fare well. So just by changing your breath, you are changing the chemistry in your body. Now we're going to use the somatics on the diaphragm today by doing what's in yoga is called the Viloma breath. We're going to interrupt the exhalation. So you'll take a breath into the belly, just taking it in, and then exhale a third, pausing, exhale another third, pause again, and then the remainder third. Take a breath in and out. And then again, inhale completely, full breath. Exhaling a third, pause. Another third, pause again. And the last. Breathe in and out. So when we pause the breath, we now hold the tone on the diaphragm and strengthen. It's a muscle like any other in the body. It needs to be worked to strengthen and not atrophy. Let's do it one more time. I'm going to let you do it on your own so you're not locked in by my cueing. Breath returns to neutral. And now let's move into the arch, and then we'll add the flatten. You can keep the hands on the belly or take them up to the cactus arms, taking your arms out to the cactus arms if that is available. So we'll inhale, arch the back, contracting the muscles on the low back. And then exhale, float back to neutral. Let's do that again. Inhale, arch. Belly poofs. Chin draws towards the chest. And releasing. Let's take a buffer breath. And then on your next out breath, flatten the low back, hollow out the belly, hollow out your belly. And then slowly release. Back to neutral. Let's do that again. Take a breath in for nothing. And exhale, hollow out the belly, move the belly button to the spine and then up. And then slowly release. Let's combine these two now. Buffer breath first. And then on your next in breath, let's arch again. And exhale, floating back to neutral. Take a breath in for nothing, belly breath, and exhale, flatten the low back. The in-breath takes us to neutral. And once at neutral, take a full breath in and out. Everything pulls. This prevents the reflex to get locked in. We want to move the tension down on the tissue. And if we repeat, with our pauses, we amp up the tension. As the body's saying, well, you're just going to repeat, so I'm not going to a low resting state. But let's do it again. We're going to add a little something to the feet. So as you inhale and arch the low back, lift the heels up, lift the heels away from the floor. The hips stays down, the heels lift the heels. Keep the hips down and then exhale, slowly release the heels down as you float back to neutral. Take a breath in for nothing and exhale, flatten the back. And now lift the front of the foot, pull the toes towards the shins, pull the toes towards the shins. And then slowly return to neutral. Let's take a buffer breath. And then on your next in-breath, arch again, lift the heels as if you're putting high heels on. And then exhale, releasing the heels and the low back down. Take a breath in for nothing. And exhale, flattening the low back. Slowly release to neutral. I forgot to say lift the feet. Sorry, my bad. I got so into it. We'll take a buffer breath and we are going to repeat. On the in-breath, let's arch again. Put the high heels on. Lift the heels up so you'll feel the calves contracting. And exhale, lower, down, heels, and back to neutral. Breath in for nothing. And exhale, flattening. And lift the front of the foot. Pull the top of the foot towards the shin. And slowly release. Let's take the hands behind the head for the arch and curl. Inhale, let's arch the low back. And exhale, flattening. Keep the head down on this first one. Just draw the elbows in, really squeeze the elbows in as you flatten the low back. And then slowly release the elbows out. Let me count you down. So I'm now about I'm 1/3 of the way. So I'm going to count up to 12 from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Everything pulls. Buffer breath. And then on the next in-breath, let's arch again. Arch the low back. And exhale, flatten. Draw the elbows in. This time, curl the chin towards the chest. Keep the low back down as you slowly release the head down. Take a breath in, lift the top of the shoulders away from the mat, and let's count again. 2, 3, 4, lowering the elbows, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, almost down, 12, pulling. Everything relaxes. Buffer breath. And one more time. Inhale, arch. Exhale, flatten. elbows in, chin curls to the chest. Releasing the head down, vertebra by vertebra. Keep the elbows hugging in. Once the head is down, let's relift the shoulders. And now let's count again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, almost 12. Down, everything pulls. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's take the hands out from under the head, slide the legs out. And just take a little interlude here. How's everything feeling? Is the breath a little deeper maybe? Does the body lay a little flatter? So we worked on the front seam and the back seam. Let's work a little bit on the side seams of the body. So we'll start with the legs. Take the legs together. So the legs are long. And just press out through the right heel, pressing out through the right heel. Pull the toes towards the shin, and then relax this. So don't overdo it. Let's press out through the left heel. Toes pulls towards the shin, and we let go. One more time. Press out through the right heel. Calf contracts and then it relaxes. Other side. And we're going to make the movement a little bit bigger. As you slide out through the right heel, take your right hip down with you. So the heel and the hip slides down. And then let that go. Left side, sliding down. Letting it go. One more time. Right heel, right hip slides down. And then relax. Left side. Interlacing the fingers under the head again. And now we'll just do the arms separately first, and then we'll combine the two. You'll slide the right elbow back. Let the head turn so that you're looking up towards the right elbow. And then sliding back. Inhaling, and the left elbow slides back. And we return back to neutral. Let's do it again. As you turn the head, rolling it in the palms of the hand. Don't lift the head. Now stretch your eyes to the right. And come back. And then go to the left and stretch the eyes to the left. And come back. Let's combine that now with the leg movement. So you inhale, press out through the right heel, take the right hip down, slide the right elbow back. And return to center. Left side. Slide the heel away, elbow opposite, and return. Gently slide from side to side. Don't lift the head, stays down the whole time. Now add a contraction, a waist contraction on the opposite side, the side that is passive. So as you reach out to the right heel and the right elbow, hug your right hip up to your right armpit, and vice versa, armpit down to the hip on the left side. And then release this. Does this create a little bit more movement? One side lengthening, other side shortening. Moving at a pace that's comfortable. Keep the arms just resting down, head supported in the hands. If there is pain, discomfort, back off, back off. Do it one more time, right and left side. And then once you come back to center, after the left, relax the arms, relax the leg, let everything cool. Notice how your back is resting, how your hips and shoulders are resting on the floor. So we've done the sides, we've done the front and the back. Let's add rotation. Do rotations. We'll start with the diagonal arcs and curls. So let's take the left hand behind the head and then hold the right leg with your right hand. So knees are bent up again. Bend up the knees again. So left leg is bent, foot on the floor, and we're just holding the right knee. Inhaling and arch. You're not going to go too far because you are being braced, but the pec minors are now getting a little release. Exhale, flatten, curl up diagonally. Left elbow across the center line. And inhale, slowly release. Unwind, de-rotate, all the way back home. Buffer breath. And again, inhale, arch. Exhale, flatten. And diagonal curl. Slowly releasing down. Inhaling and exhale, buffer breath, sorry. Inhale and arch. Exhale, flatten and diagonal. Sorry, Matt, I got you completely confused on that one. Unwinding down. So releasing, leg down, switch the right hand under the head. Let's take the left knee in. So it is the arch and curl, but with the rotation and not the slow elbow release here, just at a slow and steady pace. So we'll inhale, we'll arch again. Exhale, flatten and draw up diagonally. Right elbow towards the left knee. De-rotate. Releasing all the way down. Buffer breath. Inhale, arch again. Lift the low back. Exhale, flatten. And curl up. So it's not about height as much as it is to get in the rotation so that the external and internal obliques can release. around the ribs and the waist. One more time. Inhale, arch. Exhale, flatten and curling up. Right elbow across and then de-rotate, looking good. Slowly coming down. Coming all the way down. Relax your knees down. And we're going to take the arms out to the sides. A little bit more rotational move. Inhaling, taking your arms up. I'm going to count them up. I'm going to count to 20 as you begin to lift the palms up, elbows are straight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now with the palms together, get a little bit of shoulder blade movement. Just slide your right hand towards the sky and then slide the left. Go back and forth as if you are slowly wiping your hands. Moving from the shoulder blade, the hand that is moving to the sky, that shoulder blade moves away from the spine. Vice versa, the hand that's moving down slightly, that shoulder blade moves towards the spine. And now let's hold the palms together, super glue them together. Cross the right leg over the left. Right leg crosses all the way over the left, as if you are sitting very daintily. Now the knees are going to draw to the right hand's left, so a counter rotation. You're not going to go very far. Back to center. Inhaling, move away from center, and exhale, return to center. Keep the palms together. Keep the palms together. Knees and palms travels opposite. Let your head do whatever feels best. It can be following the hands or not. Are you moving equidistant away from the center with your knees and hands? One more time. And then we're switching. Other side. Take your left leg all the way across, so the one thigh just rests, left thigh just rests on top of the right thigh. And now knees are going to go left, hands right. Moving at a gentle, easy pace. Gentle and easy pace. Knees to the left, hands to the right. Knees left, hands right. So your left leg serves as a weight or ballast. And next time you come up to center, Let's uncross the legs. Reach the palms to the sky. I'm going to count them down now. Also 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Are you all the way down? With the feet together, release your right knee out to the side. Release. So when you start to feel the stretch, just lift it up a few inches, 3, 4, and then take it back down again. It's going to go back and forth, releasing but not stretching. There's a distinct difference between the sensation. Release is easy. Stretching, there is force or power involved. So stay out of that one. We are just going to go back and forth. Right knee releases down, lifting up again a little bit, lowering down again. So keeping as pretty even on the sacrum. So you're not rolling the whole pelvis. This is purely hip rotation. Purely hip rotation. Getting a little bit of WD-40 into the hip joint. And the next time you come up, let's switch to the other side. Lowering down. Again, be acutely aware of the different sensations of release and stretch. Once the stretch begins, you re-engage the muscles, the adductors, adductors, and then you release them again. And then you engage them again. So we are both strengthening and releasing simultaneously. Facilitating healthy range of movement, but not over flexibility. Back and forth. Let's do it one more time. And then when you come up after the second one, slide the legs back out. Leaving the arms out to the side. So the fallen tree, I know, they're all really good, but this one is hands down my favorite. Rolling your right leg in, roll from the hip, and then roll the leg out. Again, roll the leg in, roll the leg out. Roll the leg in again, roll the leg out. And now, with the leg rolled out, slide the heel up the mat in the external rotation, so it's like a fallen tree. And then slide the heel back out long. Roll the leg in towards your left leg again. Rolling it out. Slide the heel up. The knee is out to the side. Slide it back out. Roll it back in. Let's do it one more time. Slide the knee up. Now dip the knee across. Take it across your left leg. There's a little twist. And come back to center. Release the knee out to the side. Slide it long. Roll the foot in. Roll the leg, not just the foot, the whole leg. Slide it back up again. And dip it across. Let your head turn opposite of the knee, nose opposite of the knee. As you release the knee out to the right, head may turn to the left. Slide it out. Roll the leg in. Now we got the full business going. Leg rolls out. Slide the knee up. And dip it across the center line. Coming back, moving at a pace that is comfortable for your body. Gentle and easy and smooth. Notice where there are choppiness in the movement as you continue to slide and roll. So we're exploring movement, almost all the movement around the hip joint, except extension, but don't worry, we're going to get to that one. Let's do it one more time. And then after the second time, just pause. Pause and breathe. Notice how your right side is resting on the mat compared to the left. So needless to say, let's do the left. We started by rolling the leg in. Left leg rolls towards the right. And we roll it out, rolling from the hip socket. So let the initiator be the hip, the thigh bone, not the foot. Rolling the thigh bone in and rolling it out. Notice if this side feels the same as the other side. Which one is the easier or more agreeable? When you repeat this, start with the ones that's the easy side and let that teach the other. Now, next time you roll the leg out, let's slide the heel up. Don't be over eager to get it up high the first time around or the second. Just let the flexibility arrive naturally without force. So when you straighten it back out, roll the leg in again, then roll it out. Slide the knee up again, sliding it out. Roll the leg in, rolling it out. So getting the joints of the legs to coordinate, the hip, the knee, the ankle. Because what happens in the hips acutely happens in these other two joints. It is the strongest and the biggest of these joints. So the other joints do affect the hip as well. It's not a one-way communication line. Next time we draw the knee up, let's do the dip. Come across. And releasing back out. Sliding along. Rolling in. Rolling out. Slide the heel up. Dip across. The hip will lift. We roll all the way back, sliding out. And if available, allow the head to participate, rolling the nose opposite of the knee direction. So we get a whole body integration. Whole body integration, making it smooth and easy. Tell your brain to tell all the systems that you need a little bit more synovial fluid. That's the DW40, the joint juice. We only secrete that if we actually use the joints. Moving at a pace that's comfortable for your body. One more time. Sliding out. And pause. Can you remember what your body felt like when we started? Almost an hour ago. And how that is different now. Let's tend to the psoas, so that is the hip flexors. So we'll start with the gentlest of the variations, which is bending up your left knee, place the foot on the mat. Bending up the left knee and place the foot on the mat. The right leg rolls out to the side. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, flatten the low back, and your left foot can help you with that. Lift your right leg up, about 5, maybe 6 inches, 5, 6 inches. Keep your low back pressing down as you slowly lengthen out through the right toe mount. And lower the leg down. As slowly as you can. Once it's down, pulling breath. So that gets the lower part of the psoas muscle, but because it attaches with the darn diaphragm at T12 to get the upper attachment, we need to do a little head curl. So let's take the left leg in, take the right hand behind the head, and then inhale, we're gonna arch first. Exhale, flatten the low back, lift the head to chin towards the chest, and your right leg again. And now slowly release the head down. Low back stays down, stays down. Once the head is down, reach out through the leg again and lower the leg down. Slowly. Once the leg is down, pull, everything pulls. The mighty psoas, it pulls the whole front seam together. Let's do the other side. So we started just with the knee bent, arms relaxed. So this is the gentlest. If you have any low back pain, this may be your preferred one, and wait with the other one. It's a big load we're putting on the psoas. Just take a breath in, and as you exhale, flatten the low back. And lift the left leg up 5, 6 inches. We don't want to overlift it because then we also begin to initiate or use the quadricep. Now here, slowly, without lifting the low back away from the floor, release, release, release. Take a buffer breath. And then let's take the right knee in, hugging it in. Left hand behind the head. Inhale, arch. And exhale, flatten, lift the head, lift the left leg. Slowly release the head back down, keep the low back flat. And we're going to release the left leg down, still with the low back flat, still with the low back flat. And once it's down, pull it all. Relax the hands, relax the arms. And we're going to roll over onto the belly. As you come onto the belly, for what I call the cobra crocodile, place one hand on top of the other, forehead rests on the hand. Tuck the toes under. Creep the toes to the nose. And you've heard me say it many times, they're not going to go very far, just a wee bit. All right, inhale, press the heels back. And then lift the head, lift the heart, hold the belly towards the heart. Keep pressing the heels back, keep pressing the heels back. And exhale, lowering down. All the way down. Buffer breath. And we're repeating. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, press the heels back. Quads engaged. And then lift the heart, lift the head. But don't overlift the head, so the gaze will still be down. But draw the belly button towards the spine, towards the heart. And tailbone towards the heels. One more breath. And slowly release down. So that got the back seam a little bit more. But there is one more thing we can do for the back seam, which would be the hamstrings. Being that this is still the hips. So an easy way to help release the hamstrings. You're going to bend up the knees, draw the hips towards the floor. Now squeeze the heels towards the buns, squeeze the heels in towards the buns. You may get a little Krabasana here. And then I'm going to count them down on 20. So 1, 2, keep pressing the hips down, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, almost down, but not quite, 19. Are your toes almost touching the floor? 20. And all the way down, everything pulls. Hamstrings also tighten when we sit down a lot. Again, tugging on the low back. So this one is worth repeating. Let's do it. Draw the heels towards the tush. Give them a good squeeze. Press the hips towards the floor, hips into the floor. And then again, counting to 20, slowly release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep pressing the hips down. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the hamstrings, you can feel them again getting grippy as we get the feet closer to the ground. 16, 17. So let the hamstrings lengthen out, 18, 19, and 20. All the way down. Everything pulls. Everything pulls. Let's roll onto the belly, onto the back again. And we'll consolidate. Take the hands down alongside the hips. Bend up the knees for bridge pose. With the feet hip-width apart. On an inhalation, let's press the hips up. And exhale, lowering down, vertebra by vertebra. Take a breath in and out. And we repeat. Lift the hips, chin to the chest, squeeze the buns. And slowly release. All the way down. We'll slide the legs out for about a 2-minute Shavasana. So be comfortable. Maybe support the head. Maybe bend up the knees. Be so comfortable that you can barely stand it. Now you let all effort go. Let all effort go. Heeding Mary Oliver's advice in Wild Geese, let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Allow yourself to relax into your place of the family of things, in the family of things. Letting go. Notice if any parts begins to re-tense. Motor amnesia. Just relax. Use the out-breath to soften and release. Letting the body incorporate these new movement patterns. with doing nothing is the best way. Now you'll gently begin to deepen your breath. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes. Bend up the knees and gently rock the knees from side to side. Eventually roll all the way over onto your right side. And using your arms and hands to press up into a comfortable seated posture. We'll close the clouds. Let's bring the palms together. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.